can't believe Shapiro surrendered Eric without preconditions. This is a pill case. When the boy flew back through London, Shapiro could have forced Reiner to extradite him from the UK with a promise not to seek the death penalty. Shapiro might have cost your client his life. What a dummy.
Well, it didn't occur to me either. Look, I may have conflict issues going to push me off this case. Each kid needs his own lawyer. Jill Lansing can step in for Lyle, but would you consider representing Eric? I think it might be a good fit.
What's the evidence against them?
Audio notes from a shrink. Eric made admissions during therapy sessions.
That's privileged. DA is never going to get those tapes in.
The DA seems to think they fall under an exception to the privilege.
Hi, Eric. I'm Leslie Abramson.
Thank you for coming, Miss Abramson.
Sure. I skipped lunch. But I bought trail mix. I know you're an athlete, so you probably eat healthy.
Thank you. I like trail mix.
Good. I read that your father's family is from Cuba. It's an interesting history, Cuba. Cortez, you know, the conquistador, was the mayor of Santiago in the 1500s before he went off to Mexico.
Yeah, I read about that in my history class.
Do you like history?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. So, Mr. Chaliff tells me that you have been very upset since your parents died. Very upset about your mom, especially?
She didn't deserve it. You know.
Oh, it's all right, honey. I know you're scared. Whatever happened, Eric, whatever you did or did not do, I will not let you get rolled over. Do you understand what I'm saying? I will not let them roll over you. Now, you want to tell me what happened?
There you go, buddy.
Hi, Lyle. I'm Leslie Abramson.
Nice to meet you.
Trail mix? So Eric and I had a good talk.
Are you gonna take our case?
If I feel I can believe in it, I will do it. No matter what, there's a couple of things you need to know to protect yourselves. You do not talk with anyone but your lawyer about your case. That includes those nice deputies that brought you in. They're not your friends. Everything you tell them goes straight to the police. That includes other inmates. The jail is full of informants, snitches, rats, all trying to beat their cases by making yours, okay? It's gonna take more than a warning from a judge to shut Mr. Reiner up. A court order is what is needed to keep him from turning this whole case into some kind of a reality TV show. And he can stand in front of all the flags he wants to at his press conferences, does not hide the fact that he is trying to trample on our clients' rights.
Leslie, do you think that the DA is biased against your clients?
I don't know about the DA, but I do know that the media doesn't like rich people. And with all the Wall Street scandals and the white-collar crimes over the last 10 years, who can blame them? But what you are doing is you are scapegoating my clients because their parents were rich. You call them spoiled, you call them entitled. You met Eric and Lyle, you would see that they are not spoiled. And they know the only thing they are entitled to is a fair hearing. And we're going to make absolutely sure that they get that. Thank you. Excuse me.
Why would I threaten Dr. Oziel? I wasn't mad at him.
No, I'm mad at him. He exploited you. You ever get angry, Eric? At Lyle? Maybe at your parents? You know you can talk to me, right? My mom is an emotional abuser. I've never stopped loving her, not for 1 second. But I get so angry at her, so angry. On that last day with your parents, were you angry?
Now that you say it like that, I guess.
Were you afraid?
All the time. As bad as it is in here, it's amazing not to have to be afraid anymore.
Afraid of what, honey?
Jerry asked me to listen in from the waiting room in case things got out of hand with Eric and Lyle. I heard Lyle threaten Jerry. He said they would kill him to keep him from going to the police. Later, Jerry told me everything.
You hear conversations in a soundproof office through 2 sets of padded doors? You hear dog whistles too, Miss Smith?
I thought this was about Jerry's tapes.
It is. Go ahead, Miss Abramson.
So you said that Dr. Oziel told you everything about his session with Eric and Lyle. Was he in the habit of sharing his patients' confidences?
Yeah, sure. I was his lover. He told me what his sex therapy patients were into, especially the ladies. He wanted a threesome.
Judge, please tell her to stop flashing her impressive bosom at you.
Okay. I want to say that I have limited control over my words and actions right now. Jerry Oziel is using mind control on me. He's out in the hallway using special words.
No more questions.
And when Eric Menendez came into your office, where was Judalon Smith?
Before I answer, Your Honor, this hearing is closed to the press, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Doctor.
I had arranged to have Judalon sit in the waiting room.
Lions.
I was worried about what Eric and his brother might do.
And afterwards, did you share details of the sessions with Miss Smith?
Yes, for her safety. She was at risk. We both were. As I told you, Lyle had threatened me.
Now, if you were so afraid after Lyle wished you good luck, why didn't you go home to protect your wife and kids instead of going to boink your mistress?
I was worried that Lyle and Eric might follow me home to my family.
But you had no problem leading them to your mistress. How gallant of you. Now, Dr. Oziel, didn't you tell Ms. Lansing and me a few weeks ago that Ms. Smith was not in your waiting room?
You must have misunderstood me.
Well, let me be sure I understand you now. So you just testified that you violated the doctor-patient privilege by telling Judalon about your sessions with Eric.
Only because of the threats.
She testified that you routinely violated that privilege, telling her about your sex therapy patients.
No, that's a lie. The privilege is a sacred bond between me and my patients.
Well, wasn't your license suspended in 1986 for abusing that sacred bond?
A temporary suspension.
I have an affidavit from a former patient you had an affair with and tried to strangle with a phone cord. Now, was that a sacred phone cord?
Lies. All lies.
These alleged threats, those are the lies that you made up to scare Judalon, to manipulate her. You don't help people, Doctor. You make them sicker.
Yesterday told me when he turned 11, his father started raping him.
This is a kid who claims he hears voices.
When someone tells me they hear a voice, I ask if the voice is in their head. The fakers always say it is. The people telling the truth say the voice comes from outside them. Eric said it was as if his father was in the room with him. I believe him.
Has Lyle said anything about abuse?
No, I've hit a wall with Lyle. I've asked a colleague, John Conti, to talk to him. He specializes in child abuse.
Okay. Thanks, Doc. No, I trust Vickery's judgment.
If Eric was abused for most of his life, where was his mother? Where was the rest of his family?
Hard to picture a 17-year-old. I mean, Eric's an athlete. He's no pushover.
And even if it's true, what does it have to do with the murders? I know you see a defense here, Leslie, but I'm not so sure.
First, we need corroboration. We also need to know more about this family.
The evidence better be convincing because the image this family has, the picture-perfect smiles, sex abuse is going to be a tall leap for a jury.
It's a tall leap for me. You really believe what Eric said, Leslie?
As a mother and a human being, I believe it. As a lawyer, I'll believe it when we can prove it. So let's find the proof.
The abuse started when Lyle was 6 and ended when he was 10, and then Jose turned all of his attention to Eric.
And 11 years later, he kills his father.
11 years of scar tissue building up over his anger. It's like a volcano dome building up over boiling lava. One day that volcano blows its top.
And yet he keeps saying what a great man his father was.
Right, he's idealizing his abuser. It's a coping mechanism when the victim is in an ongoing relationship with his abuser. I mean, in many ways, he's patterned himself after his dad.
Lyle said he thought his parents would kill them. And Eric said the same thing. Do you believe them?
I believe they genuinely thought their lives were in danger. Long-term abuse victims are often hyper-vigilant to the smallest threat. They exaggerate them in their own minds.
Thanks, John.
So now we have our last piece. What are you thinking?
Imperfect self-defense. These boys were abused from the age of 6. They grew up with no sense of feeling protected by their parents.
This is what a little faggot does.
Beaten into submission.
Fear me.
Terrified into keeping secrets, sick secrets.
Wrong! What will I do?
You'll kill me?
That's right.
When they finally stood up to their parents and threatened to spill those secrets, they were made to believe that their parents would kill them. A genuine but unreasonable belief that their lives were in imminent danger.
So they shot their parents in self-defense. Imperfect self-defense. I believe that. Do you?
Yes.
And do you believe them? The abuse?
Yes, I believe them. I believe in our case.
Let us proceed with opening statements.
Based on our evidence, it will become apparent that this murder was unlawful, unjustified, and wholly premeditated, and that but for a few mistakes that Lyle Menendez and his brother made, this was almost the perfect murder.
On August 20th, 1989, Lyle and Eric Menendez killed their parents. We're not disputing where it happened, how it happened, who did it. The only thing you're going to have to focus on in this trial is why it happened, and we will prove that it was done out of fear.
4 days after the killings, they went to Slavic Jewelers in Beverly Hills and spent $15,000 on Rolex watches and gold money clips.
It will be your job to decide what kind of killing this is. We intend to provide you with the answer to that question. Eric will tell you why he killed his parents. Eric was the abused son of wealthy parents. He killed his parents because he could no longer endure the abuse and had to stop it. In doing that, he put himself in mortal danger. When he sensed that danger was imminent, his instinct to survive took over. Now, because his parents were wealthy, the prosecution tells you that Eric and Lyle did it for money. What do they say when poor kids kill their parents? Oziel is the prosecution's star witness, this guy who is a menace to the mental health of the people of California. If we are allowed to prove the nature of this person, his ethics, his total ineptness, the jury will not believe a word he has to say. Everybody got that? Thank you. Dr. Oziel, from an ethical standpoint, are you comfortable being a witness against former patients in a case where the state wants to kill them?
No.
In your resume, you describe yourself as a sex therapist. The term pops up many times. Sex therapist, sex therapist, sex therapist. And you list your media appearances. I assume you were speaking about things associated with sex therapy?
Probably. I don't recall those appearances because they didn't have that much importance to me.
Enough importance to list them all in your resume. When you met the Menendez family in 1988, did you tell them that your license was on probation at that time?
I don't remember.
The probation was for unprofessional billing practices, right?
Technically, yes.
Let's talk about your billing practices. 4 days after the murder, you went to the Bel Air Hotel to offer your condolences to Eric and Lyle, is that right?
Well, yes, of course.
And you billed them $1,300 for that visit.
Well, that reflects the time I spent with them as their therapist.
$1,300 for condolences. You testified earlier about feeling threatened by Lyle, that you and your family were in mortal danger. But instead of going home to ensure their safety, you went to your girlfriend's.
I wouldn't call her my girlfriend.
Are you more comfortable with lover? I'll help you. Defenses 43. Is this a poem you wrote to Judalon Smith in January 1990?
I didn't write it to Judalon.
For like a nymph, she strides from the forest at daybreak, dressed in white, when no other man had truly known her. Judalon. So, girlfriend, lover?
Fine. I was afraid that if Lyle and Eric followed me, they would find me with my wife and children.
So instead, you went to Miss Smith's and put her, based on what you told us and her, in danger.
Eric knew where I live. They didn't know about Judalon. I could hide out there.
How many days did you hide out at Miss Smith's?
Several days.
But during that time, on November 1st, did you see patients in your office?
I did see patients that day.
11 patients in your office. Eric and Lyle certainly knew where that was, didn't they? You didn't really feel threatened, did you? You just said that to Ms. Smith so that she would feel threatened.
Approach, Your Honor.
Come on.
Miss Abramson is putting before the jury a legal issue that's been resolved.
Look, this jury has a right to assess his credibility. We're not challenging whether or not he was in fear. We're saying he told Miss Smith they were in danger because he exploits people by exercising domination over them, by putting them in fear, by isolating them and making them dependent.
Because he's right here.
Yes, I don't care if he's listening.
Miss Abramson, move on from this line of questioning. And did you fail the law school whispering course? Because everybody can hear your stage whispers.
Dr. Oziel, isn't it true, rather than being afraid, you saw Eric's confession as an opportunity for financial gain?
No, that's not at all true.
You don't remember telling Miss Smith in a phone call recorded by her, Judalon, there's $14 million involved in this, $14 million being the approximate worth of the Menendez estate?
I don't recall making that statement, but you know, I might have.
Have you talked about writing a book about your experience in this case?
Yes, I have.
Were you hoping to make a lot of money off this book? Was that on your mind?
No, what entered my mind was that being a witness in a case like this is like being on trial. It's like this experience, actually, that we're having right now.
Good luck with that, Dr. Oziel. I'm done with this witness.
Is there anything you'd like to say concerning Eric's testimony about his brother's hairpiece?
Eric knew about Lyle's toupee long before the murders. We laughed about it in the spring or early summer of 1989 when I visited Lyle in LA.
Let me take you now to the months after Lyle Menendez's arrest in 1990. Did he ask you to do some research for him at the Santa Monica courthouse?
Yes, He asked me to look up law cases. He gave me the names and numbers of cases with child molestation where the kids had killed their parents and gotten off. It was at that point that I began to doubt Lyle's innocence.
Thank you. Nothing further.
What months would you consider spring and early summer?
I'd say March through June.
You were waitressing in New Jersey during those months, correct?
Yes, but I visited Lyle in LA.
See, I have here your time cards. You worked 6 days a week. When did you find time to fly to Los Angeles and joke with Eric about Lyle's toupee?
I'm not sure.
All right, I'll move on. When you did legal research for Lyle at the Santa Monica courthouse, what books did you use?
I'm not sure I remember.
Was it a book like this? With cases and judges' opinions?
Yeah, just like that one.
How many published cases did you find in which molested children were acquitted of killing their parents?
Maybe 3?
Now, you see, that's not possible. Did you know that only convictions are published in these books? Not acquittals? These photographs, tragic as they are, were put here by the prosecution for no other reason but to so inflame you against the defendants that you would forget to ask the most important question. Why did this happen? I look at these photos and I ask, where are the photos of Jose Menendez bending his 12-year-old son over the bed so that he can go all the way in spite of Eric's screams? There is such a picture. Unfortunately, it only exists in Eric's mind. I cannot show you the photos of the crimes Jose Menendez committed against Eric. But you heard some of the things he liked to do to his little boy. And one of them was to take tacks like this and stick them in his thighs and his butt, and to run needles along his penis. There is one issue facing the jury, viewed through his entire life, based on what happened that week. Is it possible Eric and his brother honestly believed their parents were going to kill them? I don't ask you to pity Eric, but I do ask you to understand how his childhood put him on a collision course with violence. I want to tell you a story from my life. When I was a child, my mother hit me with a wooden coat hanger. I was so mad, I hit her back. It was the scariest thing I have ever done in my life. But it happened in an instant. From a wellspring of panic and fear. Like this. Panic and fear.
Lyle protected his little brother. If he had protected his little sister named Erica, would it make a difference to you? It shouldn't. I ask you not to turn away from the pain and to see it for what it was and what it did to Lyle Menendez. I ask you to return a verdict of involuntary manslaughter.
I apologize if I can't just wind it up and sit down. I don't want to let go of Eric. I have had him in my hands all this time, and now I have to give him up to you. You know, if people were to ask me, after 3.5 years of thinking about Eric every single day, what it is I want out of this, I want to see him walk down the street. Not in chains or shackles. To fulfill my dream, you would have to come in with a verdict of not guilty. If you don't feel you can do that, I would would ask that you come in with a verdict of involuntary manslaughter, because I believe that's what the evidence shows.
Have you come to a decision?
We have not, Your Honor. We're deadlocked. Our positions haven't changed after 3 weeks. I see no hope for reaching an agreement on any of the counts. I'm sorry. We tried.
What does this mean?
Oh, it's good, honey. If Weisberg declares a mistrial, I can try to get a deal from the DA.
I understand this has been difficult. I know all of you have made sacrifices over the holidays. But I'm going to ask you to go back and to try and reach a consensus.
You can't do that, Your Honor.
Sit down, Ms.
You should
Abramson.
consult counsel before giving the jury instructions.
I'm fine with the instructions, Your Honor.
I would like to know what charges are being discussed, and if first-degree murder is off the table.
Please escort the jury back to the jury room.
Your Honor, this is unfair. You have been biased against my client this entire time.
One more word, Miss Abramson, and I will hold you in contempt.
That son of a bitch. Judge Weisberg is the most high-handed, obnoxious judge I have ever tried a case before. The Judicial Council should be looking at him. Eric and Lyle have been plagued by bad parents, a bad shrink, and now a bad judge. It makes you wonder what the next disaster is for this case.
An earthquake measuring 6.7 struck the Los Angeles area at 4:30 this morning.
Casualties. Aftershocks are still being felt. Sections of the freeway crumbled.
Entire apartment complexes are collapsed. Devastation this earthquake.
The Van Nuys courthouse site of the infamous Menendez murder trial suffered damages.
The house in Calabasas was auctioned off to pay taxes. There's hardly anything left in the estate.
We can't afford a new trial. All the experts, the lawyer fees.
Lyle's new lawyer was appointed by the court because Jill left. His fees are paid by the state. Same thing with Mr. Levin, who replaced Marcia. And I will use my fees to pay experts.
Leslie, there's not even enough to pay for you. I'm sorry.
I will ask the supervising judge to appoint me to represent Eric. That way the state will pay me about a quarter of my regular rate. You'll be getting a bargain. My client is broke, Your Honor. Neither he nor his family can afford my attorney fees. I'm asking to be made Eric's court-appointed attorney.
I'm denying your request, Miss Abramson. As supervising judge, it is my duty to manage the very limited resources of the criminal division. This is one trial where the taxpayers don't need to chip in.
Are you trying to force me off the case? You can't expect me to work for free.
You've been paid very well.
I don't like the inference that I am a money grubber, Your Honor. I have spent 8,600 hours over the past 4 years on this case. That is $68 an hour.
Can I speak? Eric. Please, please. Your Honor, I beg you. There is no way I would want to do another trial without Miss Abramson. She's been my lawyer since my life was revealed. I don't think that I can open up to another attorney.
I am not relieving her of her position. As long as you want her to work for you, she has to work for you. But the taxpayers of California will not be footing the bill. We are adjourned.
I don't understand. They're paying for Lyle's lawyer. They're paying for Mr. Levin here.
That's because we replaced lawyers who left. And you want Leslie to stay.
I can't ask you to work for free. I'll let you go. I'll say I want another attorney.
That's what they want. They want me off the case. We will find a way around this. I'm not leaving you, Eric.
This trial could take another year at least. And then the appeals. Now, I know how committed you are, but you can't pretend you can afford to do this. You have to let Eric fire you.
There's a misconception that Eric and Lyle are rich. They are not. Not anymore. I'm not rich either. And because Judge Mills refuses to make me Eric's court-appointed lawyer, I may go broke defending him. As you all know, justice isn't cheap. Costs a lot to mount a defense, especially when the DA is hell-bent on killing our clients and won't even consider a plea bargain. So, we need to raise money. People have sent in contributions unsolicited, very modest contributions from ordinary people. But it gave us the idea to set up a defense fund.
How much are you hoping to raise?
We have to spend as much money defending the boys as Garcetti is spending to kill them.
Your Honor, our motion to exclude testimony about the Menendez family history is before you.
That testimony is
Ms.
crucial.
Abramson, I did not ask you to speak. Mr. Khan, your motion is granted. I am excluding any irrelevant testimony about the family history.
Your Honor, please explain irrelevant.
Any unnecessary testimony from family members or friends of the defendants about physical abuse or psychological bullying.
You can't do that.
All such testimony will only be permitted in the penalty phase.
That's too late. The jury needs to hear it during the trial, before they reach a verdict. My defense is built on imminent fear. Please, I am not trying to prove that my client and his brother had a sad childhood. Their entire sense of safety is at issue. It makes no sense to present experts when there is no corroboration from family members and the people in their lives.
I disagree.
This is unbelievable.
I'm looking forward to working with you again too, Miss Abramson. Only this time around, things are going to be a little different. For one thing, that will be coming down. I am excluding all cameras from the courtroom. We're adjourned.
The book was Lyle's idea, to show the other side of him. I asked him permission to tape our calls. He said yes, but he didn't want his lawyers to find out. I understood why when I heard some of the things he said. I found them very distressing.
Thank you, Ms. Novelli.
So you and Lyle were going to write this book together, is that right?
Yes. Lyle said when we do our book, I'd like to go on tour with it.
Yeah, that's nice. So you and Lyle have some kind of a written contract?
No, not in writing. It was a verbal agreement.
So you have it on tape?
No.
Hours and hours and hours of recordings, and Lyle never said he agreed to be taped?
No, I don't think so.
We've heard Mr. Khan refer to your recordings as explosive, and you've called them distressing. How much is Dove Books paying you to publish this explosive, distressing book?
$12,500.
That's it? Well, now that's distressing. No more questions.
You may step down, Miss Novelli.
Your Honor, Ms. Novelli's recordings are a clear violation of California law requiring the consent of both parties being taped.
I don't agree. As an inmate in a correctional institute, Mr. Menendez had no expectation of privacy in his communications. I'm going to admit the tapes into evidence.
Without knowing what's on them, I am willing to bet that Dove Books would have paid a whole lot more than a measly $12,000 if those tapes contained any explosive evidence relating to the murders.
Mr. Khan?
Your Honor, we're not finished with our review, but there's plenty of material to impugn Lyle Menendez's credibility.
Well, if the tapes are to be admitted, it should just be to rebut Lyle's testimony.
Mr. Khan? Very well, then. The tapes can only be admitted as rebuttal evidence in the event that Mr. Menendez testifies at trial.
Good going.
I don't know. I'm not actually sure we want anything.
Your Honor, we object to defense's use of imperfect self-defense. It does not apply in this case.
I was wondering the same thing.
Your Honor, this is the same case as the first trial, when you allowed imperfect self-defense. Now that the case is going to the jury, is not the time to reconsider?
I want to talk about the requirement that the defendant must believe the lethal threat to him is imminent.
Yes, that's the requirement to precipitate the use of deadly force.
Well, it's not for the defendant to decide what imminent means.
Your Honor, imperfect self-defense allows for the defendant's unreasonable belief that the lethal threat is imminent.
I don't think there's substantial evidence of imminent danger to justify instructing the jury on imperfect self-defense.
Your Honor, we have built our entire case on this. The jury has heard us build up to this for the last 4 months.
What the defendant said does not constitute imminent danger.
So the court is saying that the belief that at any second people could come out of a room, guns blazing, and shoot you is not fear of imminent danger? Is that what the court is saying?
For the application of imperfect self-defense, that is not imminent danger. Now let's move on.
No, Your Honor, we
Miss
can't.
Abramson, I do not want to hear any more from you on this. Moving on. Okay, I will prepare the final instructions and read them to the jury accordingly.
It is an extraordinary task that our law puts in your hands. I don't have any idea what it's like to make a decision to take another person's life. I haven't a clue. Even though I'm a murder lawyer, this is in fact only the second time in my career that I've ever actually had a penalty phase, so I'm not particularly expert at even arguing it. People have said, just speak from your heart. Frankly, my heart is too full of Eric Menendez. I've been his lawyer for 6 years. I care about him. I make no bones about it. And if I try to speak from my heart, frankly, I don't think I will talk very effectively. So now our task is to show you that this is not a case where the interests of society or of your own conscience would be served by imposing a death verdict. These things are not decided by computer.
Let's get on to the opening.
Your Honor, may I please speak?
No, we've had enough references to matters outside the purpose of the opening statement.
Yes, Your Honor, I am simply trying to explain to the jury
Either you'll make your opening statement in conformity with my direction, or you won't make a statement.
Let me direct you to page 35 of the notes you made during Eric's treatment. Can you tell us what the first line at the top there says?
It says, I couldn't stand being around my mother, thought I didn't love her.
My copy of your notes doesn't say thought. It just says didn't love her.
That's interesting. It says thought here in my notes, but not on your copy. So it's obviously something I wrote when I reviewed my notes. I made maybe 24 changes.
Doctor, when did you add the word thought to your copy?
I was going over my notes with Miss Abramson, preparing to testify.
You were modifying the notes of your original interview of Eric with Miss Abramson?
Well, at her request to clarify and eliminate material that was prejudicial.
Objection. The witness misstates. The material had already been ruled inadmissible by the court.
Overruled.
This line of questioning is irrelevant since he already has the original notes.
Your Honor, I asked the court to inquire of Miss Abramson why she tampered with Dr. Vickery's notes and improperly withheld evidence from the prosecution.
Deputy, take the jury out.
I object to Mr. Kahn's characterizations. We didn't withhold anything. The prosecution has the original notes.
Miss Abramson, I want information from you about the history of these notes from Dr. Vickery.
Your Honor, I am prepared to answer your questions about Dr. Vickery's notes in chambers without the prosecution present. I am not interested in giving Mr. Kahn information he would not otherwise be entitled to.
That is not a response.
Open court is not the appropriate forum for this inquiry.
These matters will be dealt with in open court. I want your response now.
What does he want me to do? Plead the fifth? I didn't do anything wrong.
It doesn't matter what you say. He's gonna burn you with the jury.
Miss Abramson.
Again, I will answer your questions about Dr. Vickery's notes in chambers.
You persist on defying me. Let's bring the jury back in.
Your Honor, the last thing the jury heard was Mr. Kahn accusing Miss Abramson of tampering with evidence. We asked that you instruct the jury that there was no misconduct on Miss Abramson's part.
I can't give
and
that
the jury's not to
instruction.
infer that she did anything improper.
I can't give that instruction because Miss Abramson refuses to answer my questions.
You're putting the defendants at an unfair disadvantage by allowing this cloud to hang over Miss Abramson.
I'm ready to bring the jury back in.
No, Your Honor, one moment, please. Okay, Weisberg's leaving us no choice. He's treated you like crap the entire trial. He's made sure that you're damaged goods in the eyes of the jury.
I will save you the trouble of asking. You want me to step down?
For Eric and Lyle's sake.
I know.
What are you gonna do after this?
Retire, be with my family.
You know, you should put yourself up for a judgeship. You get a lot of support.
That is never going to happen, Barry.
Why is that?
I had a client 12 years ago, a junkie who sold a dime bag to an undercover. I tried to plead him out, but the DA wanted a hard time. So my guy goes to prison. Except he's a diabetic. And when he doesn't get his medication in prison, he died. So I wrote a letter to the DA congratulating him for being the first DA to get the death penalty for the sale of a dime bag of heroin. Ever since, the DA's office has blocked my nomination for judgeship every time my name's come up.
Yeah.
They're right. I shouldn't be a judge. I would have to be impartial. I don't want to be impartial. The world is filled with people walking around being impartial while disaster is striking. I don't want to be one of them. Really, guys, outside my house?
Just a couple of questions, Leslie. How do you feel now that the trial is over?
It'll never be over for me. I will never sever ties with Eric and Lyle or their family. The legal part is over, but the human part continues.
Is it true you'll be retiring?
Might be.
What are you going to do?
Spend some time with my husband and my lovely little boy. Maybe open a toy store. Okay, that's it. Bye-bye. Farewell. Everybody, farewell.
Can you leave the law?
Is there anything else you can tell us?
Come on, guys, it's family time. What part of farewell don't you understand?